What would you do if the people you loved most betrayed the one gift you poured your heart into giving them? For me, that question wasn't hypothetical, it was the gut punch that upended my life. My name is Ellie, and this is the story of how a house, a dream, and a family unraveled. I was 30, scraping by as a freelance graphic designer in Chicago, when I decided to do something big. My parents, Mary and Tom, had spent their lives in a cramped apartment, always one missed rent payment from eviction. They'd sacrificed everything for me and my younger brother, Jake: school supplies, secondhand clothes, their own dream, so we could have a shot at something better. Jake, though, had always been the golden child. Charming, reckless, and endlessly forgiven, he'd stumbled through life, leaving a trail of bad decisions. Me? I was the steady one, the one who worked late, saved every penny, and never asked for help. After years of hustling, I'd saved enough to buy them a house. Not a mansion, but a cozy 3-bedroom in the suburbs with a small yard and a porch where Mom could sip her tea. I still remember the day I handed them the keys. Dad's eyes glistened, and Mom hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. "Ellie, you've given us a home," she whispered. I felt like I'd finally repaid them for everything. Jake wasn't there, he was off somewhere, probably chasing another get-rich-quick scheme. But I didn't care. This was my gift, my way of saying thank you. The first crack appeared a month later. I visited to help Dad fix a leaky faucet, and he was oddly quiet, avoiding my eyes. Mom kept changing the subject when I asked about their plans for the house. I brushed it off, maybe they were just adjusting. But then I got a call from a real estate agent. "Hi, Ellie. I'm reaching out about the listing for 142 Maple Street. Your parents mentioned you'd be handling inquiries." My stomach dropped. Listing? I hadn't listed anything. I owned the house outright, my name on the deed to protect them from financial hiccups. What was going on? I confronted Mom that night. She sat at the kitchen table, hands trembling, unable to meet my gaze. "It's for Jake," she finally admitted. "He's in trouble, Ellie. Big trouble. He owes money, bad people, dangerous people. We thought selling the house could save him." Dad stood behind her, silent but nodding. My heart pounded. "You were going to sell the house I bought you?" Without telling me. My voice cracked, but I held back the tears. Jake's messes had always come first, but this was my sacrifice, my love, my everything. The truth spilled out. Jake had borrowed thousands from a loan shark for some crypto scheme that tanked. Now, he was hiding, and the collectors were circling. My parents, desperate to protect him, had contacted an agent behind my back, forging documents to list the house. They hadn't even planned to tell me until it was sold. "We didn't want to burden you," Dad said, as if that excused it. I felt like a stranger in the home I'd given them. I spent that night on my couch, staring at the ceiling, wrestling with rage and guilt. Should I let them sell it? Jake was family, and those bad people weren't bluffing. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw Mom smile when she first walked into that house, saw Dad tracing the porch railing like it was a treasure. I'd worked years for that moment. How could they throw it away? The next day, I drove to Jake's last known address, a dingy apartment downtown. He answered the door, disheveled, eyes darting. "Ellie, I didn't know they'd do that," he stammered. I didn't believe him. Jake always knew how to pull their strings. I told him I wasn't bailing him out this time. "You need to fix this," I said. "Not Mom, not Dad, not Mio." His face crumpled, but I walked away. Tough love was all I had left. Back home, I called a lawyer. I could stop the Salami name was on the deed, after all. But that wasn't enough. I sat my parents down and laid it out. The house was theirs to live in, but I'd put it in a trust. They couldn't sell it, not without my consent. Mom cried, saying they just wanted to protect Jake. "What about protecting me?" I asked. For once, they had no answer. Months passed. Jake disappeared, probably running from his debts. I helped my parents find a counselor to navigate their guilt and fear. Slowly, they started treating the house like a home again. Mom planted roses. Dad fixed the porch swing. But something in me had shifted. I loved them, but I couldn't trust them the same way. I started setting boundaries, saying no to Jake's chaos, focusing on my own life. It was painful, but freeing. The house still stands on Maple Street, a symbol of love and betrayal, of sacrifice and survival. I walk by sometimes, seeing Mom's roses bloom, and I wonder if I did the right thing. But I know one thing. Family isn't just about giving everything, it's about knowing when to hold on and when to let go. And I'm still learning how to do both.